Four First Nations from here in the Northwest are sending a message to government and industry. No development without free, prior, and informed consent. Leadership from the four communities met in Grassy Narrows this week, committing to mutually support each community's defense of their traditional territories against what they believe are incursions from the province. Lee Noonan has more.
Nishnawbe has now joined the First Nations of Grassy Narrows, KI, and Wapakika, forming the Land Defense Alliance and pledging to cooperate in the protection of their lands and waters. They're calling for a meeting with the Premier and an end to free entry staking. Nishnawbe is bracing for conflict over the Ring of Fire and the Northern Road Link. Chief Wayne Munoz says they will fight any development that affects their territory or the Attawapiskat River without the endorsement of his people.
Our river system will matter, and we will defend our rights on the river system, and we will certainly not sit idle with these developments as Ontario is planning to make progress on these on the promises that they made from their last election campaign. So certainly the bulldozer analogy that Premier Ford made to the public or during his election and reaffirmed just recently definitely doesn't sit well with our First Nation.
For KI and Wapakika, protecting the Fawn River watershed is the priority. In 2012, the province declared 23,000 kilometers of their land protected from mining, but now the two communities want to see that extended throughout their territories.
We have laws, we have policies, and these are the things that government and other companies, we want them to acknowledge moving forward in the future. Come to us first. Government doesn't have to okay it. It's you got to get our consent, the communities. If you don't, then be a long, hard struggle, a battle.
Grassy Narrows Chief Rudy Turtle says it was the heavy impact of resource extraction that brought the communities together.
We agreed that we would be helping one another because we have to. We're basically forced to get together and send a clear message to the governments that, you know, the First Nations people don't want these encroachments in our land.
The NDP's Saul Mamakwa, who represents the four communities as the MPP for Kiiwetinoong, says he stands by the communities.
It's so important for, to protect these lands because their ways of life, identity, language comes from the land. And I think that's what they're trying to protect for generations to come.
The First Nations intend to continue their cooperation with a meeting planned in the spring or summer in Nishnawbe. But first, all four leaders will be heading to Queen's Park at the end of March to bring their message directly to the Premier. Lee Noonan, TBT News.